How do you interview the actual levelling up secretary and fail to point out to him and viewers that despite promises to level up, social mobility in this country is now at its worst in over 50 years? That never in living memory have families got so much poorer over a single parliament? That the UK is the only G7 economy where real household disposable income per head hasn't recovered to its pre-pandemic levels? That real wages in 2024 are forecast to be lower than they were in 2006. That the UK has been ranked by UNICEF, that's the United Nations Children's Fund, as the worst amongst the world's richest countries in child poverty levels. That the number of children in food poverty has doubled. That more than 14 million people are now living in poverty. That 1 million adults can't afford to eat every day, that 9 million are skipping meals and cutting back on food, that millions more can't afford to heat their homes, and record numbers are now using food banks. How is it even possible that none of this is raised with the actual minister responsible for levelling up? How about reminding the minister that after 14 years of Conservative government, we've got untreated sewage dumped in our rivers, crumbling schools and hospitals, and cash-strapped local authorities across the UK are being forced to take out massive 50-year loans at soaring interest in the aftermath of the Tories' catastrophic mini-budget. Why is none of this even mentioned to the levelling up minister? And when the levelling up minister starts talking about democracy, how about pointing out to viewers the government is busily shutting down accountability in Parliament, through the courts and on the streets, with an anti-strike law designed to rob millions of workers of their democratic right to strike, an Elections Act which will lock millions of people out of the electoral process, a blatant act of voter suppression by the government, and new laws which will strip back our right to protest and limit our rights to judicial review, an affront to the very principles of fairness and government accountability. How about just once pointing all this out? How hard can it be? And how can we stop all this if UK news shows won't even mention it when they have the government's levelling up secretary sitting right in front of them?